Okay, so you know how it is, right? You're going through your day, and it just feels like it never ends. Like emails are constantly pinging, deadlines are like right around the corner, and that to-do list just keeps getting longer and longer. And sometimes it's like a huge win just to even find like a minute of quiet.
Yeah, definitely. It's so easy to feel like you're always on, constantly plugged in, and just bombarded with information and demands.
Exactly. But what if there's like a way to actually go beyond just escaping the noise? Like,
Mhm.
what if you could find a way to actually cultivate this like deeper sense of calm and focus? And the really interesting thing is that our sources this week are pointing to something that can do just that. This ancient practice called, meditation. It's supposed to be like a surprisingly direct path to inner peace and real well-being.
That's exactly right. And that's why we're taking this deep dive. We really want to get to the heart of what meditation is and what makes it so beneficial. We're going to be looking at both the research and the ancient wisdom on this, to really understand how it works.
Yeah, I love that.
And the ultimate goal here is to see how incorporating this practice into your life can actually be a shortcut to achieving more balance and resilience, especially with all the things that you're already juggling.
I love that.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into one of the biggest benefits of meditation, and one that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Okay.
And it's the impact that it can have on your mental clarity and your focus. It's like that difference between feeling like your mind is all over the place,
Right.
versus that ability to really zero in on something.
Yeah, absolutely. You can almost think of meditation as this training program for your attention. Our sources emphasize how it actually strengthens your ability to stay present in the moment. Kind of like how consistently working out builds your physical strength.
Yeah.
And what's really fascinating here is that meditation changes how you relate to distractions. So instead of getting swept away by every thought that pops up, you learn to observe them without getting caught up. And
Mm.
that lets you redirect your focus so much easier.
So it's more than just feeling less distracted, though, right?
Yeah,
The sources that we've been looking at suggest there's an actual impact on our cognitive ability.
totally. I mean, think about it. When your mind is constantly bouncing from one thing to another, you're using up a lot of mental energy. But when you meditate, you free up those cognitive resources. You can actually focus on the task at hand. It's like having more bandwidth for your brain, right?
That makes sense.
And what's really cool is that there's actually a neurological basis for this. Studies are showing that meditation can stimulate the prefrontal cortex,
Wow.
which is that part of your brain that handles those executive functions, like making decisions and maintaining your attention.
Uh,
So meditation isn't just about feeling calm, it actually improves your brain's ability to focus.
I see. Yeah. So basically, whether you're trying to get through a really demanding project at work, or maybe you're learning something new, or even if you just want to be more present when you're talking with people, it sounds like this practice could really give you an edge.
It really could. And the best part, it's not about adding another chore to your day. It's
Yeah.
about building a skill that makes you more effective at everything you do.
I like that a lot. So let's shift gears a bit to something that I think everyone can relate to, and that's stress. It's just this constant presence in our lives. Sometimes it's louder, sometimes it's quieter. And our sources talk about meditation as being like a really strong antidote to this.
hmm
So how does that actually work in practice?
Well, basically, meditation encourages a state of mindfulness and relaxation, right?
Hmm.
And this directly affects your body's stress response. When you meditate regularly, it helps to lower your levels of cortisol, which is the main stress hormone. So it basically creates a space for you to consciously step back from all that mental chatter that feeds the stress, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And it helps you to cultivate this sense of inner peace. So you can think of it almost like hitting the pause button on that stress alarm that's going off inside you.
I love that. And it seems like the breath plays a really big part in all of this, right?
Okay.
Just taking a few deep breaths can sometimes make a big difference.
Breathing is fundamental.
Mhm.
Deep, intentional breathing, which is often a key part of meditation, directly affects your nervous system. It helps to slow your heart rate and activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and digest part of your system.
Right. Yeah.
And this can quickly counteract those feelings of anxiety and help you feel more emotionally balanced. And the more you do it, the more resilient you become to stress.
Yeah.
It's like building up a buffer, right?
It really is. So it's not just about handling stress when it happens. It's about building a foundation of calm so you're less affected by stress in the first place.
Exactly. It's like training your system to bounce back to that balanced state quicker.
Okay. So moving beyond just the feeling of stress, our sources also dive into this bigger picture of emotional health.
Right.
It's about developing self-awareness and acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
and that seems to go deeper than just feeling less stressed. It's
Oh.
like tapping into a deeper well-being.
It really does.
Ah.
Meditation helps you to become aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment as they come up. It's
Uh-huh.
like you're becoming an observer of your own inner world. This lets you understand your emotional patterns better,
Okay.
what triggers you, and even the stories you tell yourself that shape your emotional responses.
I like that.
And there are also specific types of meditation, like loving kindness meditation,
Uh-huh.
that really focus on developing feelings of compassion and empathy. And this can have such a huge impact on your relationships
Hmm.
and your own sense of inner peace.
Loving kindness meditation.
Hmm.
So is that where you intentionally direct feelings of warmth and goodwill towards, like, yourself and others?
Exactly. It's about actively cultivating positive emotions, and that can counteract those negative thought patterns and even foster a more positive, connected outlook on life. And just by simply observing your emotions without judging them, as good or bad or feeling like you have to react right away,
Yeah.
you create space between the feeling and your response, and that helps you navigate those emotional ups and downs in a healthier way.
Yeah, and it's remarkable how something we often think of as just a mental exercise can have a real impact on our physical health, too.
I know, right?
Or sources point to things like the positive effects of meditation on the cardiovascular system, for example.
Yeah. And what's really insightful here is the deep connection between our minds and our bodies. The relaxation you achieve through meditation isn't just in your head, it actually has physical consequences. By reducing those stress hormones and promoting calm, meditation can lower blood pressure and improve your heart health.
So it's a powerful reminder that taking care of your mind is also taking care of your body.
Absolutely.
Okay, and now to something that I think most people would agree on. Who wouldn't want better sleep? Our sources also emphasize the link between meditation and improved sleep quality. I mean, that's something we all want.
I know, it's a universal desire. And by calming your mind and easing the tension that builds up in your body, from the day, meditation prepares you for a more restful sleep.
Okay?
And it can be so valuable if you're dealing with things like insomnia. You just wake up feeling refreshed and more energized. And it's also interesting to note that research is showing a connection between mindfulness practices and a stronger immune system.
So there are all these added physical benefits too.
Hmm.
This next area is one that really intrigues me. It's the connection between meditation and being more creative and a better problem solver.
Hmm.
It almost sounds counterintuitive, quieting your mind to be more creative.
Right.
But, the things we've been looking at suggest it actually works that way.
It might seem strange at first, but when you quiet that inner noise and the pressure to think, you create space for new ideas to come up. Meditation clears out the mental clutter and those thought patterns that can block creativity. It's almost like defragmenting your hard drive. And then fresh perspectives and solutions can emerge more easily.
So by stepping back from a problem and quieting the analytical part of your mind, you actually make room for those moments of insight.
Exactly. A calm, focused mind approaches problems with more clarity and a broader perspective. You don't get stuck in those rigid ways of thinking or bogged down by your anxieties.
Hmm.
And you're able to see different angles and possibilities that you might have missed before. It's about shifting from a state of frantically searching for a solution to one of being open and receptive.
I see. So life throws all these curveballs at us, unexpected challenges and setbacks.
It does.
And being able to bounce back from those tough times with, grace and strength, that's essential. And our sources discuss how meditation can actually build that resilience and inner strength. But how does just sitting quietly help with that?
Well, meditation cultivates a really deep sense of being grounded and present. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to observe those difficult emotions and situations without letting them completely overwhelm you.
Hmm.
You don't let those emotions define you. And this allows you to respond with more clarity, wisdom, and less reactivity. It's like you're developing an anchor inside yourself that you can always come back to.
So it's not about pretending those challenges don't exist.
No.
It's about changing how we relate to them internally so they don't have as much power over us.
Exactly. It's about being able to stay centered and connected to your values, even when things are difficult. And this resilience helps you in every part of your life. It helps you stick with your goals, deal with setbacks, and come out stronger on the other side.
For those listening who might be looking for something a bit deeper of a sense of meaning or connection, our sources also talk about meditation as a way to, grow spiritually.
Yes, for those who are interested in that, meditation can be a path to deeper self-reflection and exploring your inner world. It gives you a dedicated space to really think about the big questions
Right. Yeah.
about life, your place in it, and the nature of consciousness. While meditation isn't necessarily tied to any religion, it often leads to feeling a stronger sense of connection to everything around you
Mhm.
and gratitude for the present moment, and an overall feeling of peace that goes beyond your everyday worries.
It sounds like meditation can really tap into something profound for those who are seeking that. This
No,
heightened intuition, deeper sense of peace.
it really can. It's about nurturing that inner journey and cultivating a deep sense of self-awareness and peace that transcends our everyday experiences.
I love that. So, for someone listening who is intrigued by all of this, but maybe they're not sure where to start, our sources offer some really practical tips for starting a meditation practice. It's encouraging to know that you don't have to jump into like hours-long sessions right from the beginning.
Right.
Exactly. The important thing is to make it something you can do and to tailor it to your life and your needs. Even starting with just a few minutes each day of mindful breathing can be really beneficial. It's about consistency rather than how long you meditate for, especially when you're first starting out.
So, to sum up what we've talked about in this deep dive into the many benefits of meditation, it's clear that it's so much more than just a passing trend.
It really is.
It's a powerful practice that's been around for centuries, and it can have a huge impact on your mental clarity, emotional health, physical well-being. It can even boost your creativity, build resilience, and open a path to spiritual growth. So in essence, it's a way to find more peace, strength, and self-discovery, even in the middle of our really busy lives.
Yeah, it's a practice with the potential to transform your life. It touches just about every aspect of your experience.
So as you go about your day, dealing with all the demands and distractions, think about this. In a world that's constantly pulling your attention outward,